In this problem, we're given a frequency distribution, and here we see the frequencies listed for grades A through F, and we're asked to create a relative frequency distribution. And what that means is that we want to know, for example, of all of the grades that were gotten in this class, what percent were A's, what percent were B's, what percent were C's, and so forth. So if we think about what we want to do, we want to first find the total of all the grades in the class, and then find what 5 divided by that total is, multiplied by 100 to give us a percent. And the TI-84 can be very helpful in doing this. The way we will proceed is to first turn on the calculator and go to the Stat button and then the Enter key to go to the lists, and we'll put the frequencies for the grades into list 1. Now with those frequencies in list 1, it's always a good idea to double check to make sure that the numbers are all correct. We'll use different commands in the calculator to formulate a list in list 2. And to do that, what we'll ask the calculator to do is to take each one of the values in list 1, divide by the sum of the numbers in list 1, and then multiply by 100 to give us the percent relative frequencies that we need in this problem. At the end, we're going to have to round those percents to 2 decimal places. So to begin, let's move the cursor from list 1 to list 2. And here at the bottom we see that the cursor is on list 2 and is waiting for entry number 1. But we're going to instead put the cursor onto the title of the list using the up arrow, and then with the title highlighted with the cursor. Now on list 2 at the bottom, we can formulate what we want the calculator to do. And what we want the calculator to do is to take each one of these data values in list 1, and to tell the calculator to do that, we'll just simply say take list 1 using the second and then the number 1 to type in L1, and we want to divide this by the sum of the numbers in list 1. The command to find the sum of the numbers in list 1 is under the List button, which you'll find above the Stat button, and notice it's in blue. So I'm going to use the second button, and notice when I hit the second button, the cursor has an up arrow in it. That means that we're now not looking at the Stat button, but we're instead looking at the List button. I'm going to press the List button, and we see 3 menus. I'm going to go to the Math menu by going to the right twice, and under the Math menu, the command I'll be using is the sum, number 5, so I'll simply press the number 5 on the calculator, and now we have list 1 being divided by the sum of, and we want the sum of the numbers in list 1, so again we want list 1 here, so we'll go to the second button and the number 1 to write list 1. Since it's opened a parentheses, we need to close the parentheses, so hitting the close parentheses, and this would give us a decimal. So once we want our percentages, so we'll have to multiply that decimal by 100. So I'll click on the multiply by 100. When I click on the Enter key, the relative frequencies as percents are shown here. There isn't a way for the calculator to do the rounding that we want, so we'll have to do that manually. So the first value would be 13.16%, since we want this to 2 decimal places. The second value would be 28.95%. The third value would be 39.47%. The fourth would be 13.16%. and the final value 5.26%. And that is how you can find a relative frequency distribution given a frequency distribution.